It's Sunday, the 29th day of May 2022. Good afternoon and welcome to Newsbeat here on Metro TV, coming to you live from our studios here at Northridge in Accra. Let's take a look at our headlines in this bulletin. And the incumbent Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Entry Boesiako, has retained his seat after beating 4 others in the just ended regional elections. And meanwhile, pollster Ben Epson says this is no good news for the party. We'll bring you details on that. And the Ashanti Regional Police Command has arrested some 5 suspected armed robbers in a highway operation. And in sports, Real Madrid beat Liverpool by a goal to win the UEFA Champions League. We'll bring you details on that. And on the international front, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has made an appeal for a ban on assault weapons in the wake of 2 deadly mass shootings in the United States. These and many more stories coming up in this bulletin. I am Desmond Okrekudanzon. We are streaming live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana and also live on DSTV channel 277. Let's begin from the camp of the NPP as they moved across the country to elect their regional leadership. And from the voting dates and venues, 14 regions have so far witnessed the elections of the executives. And so as you can see on your screen, on Friday, that was May 27, 7 of them from Ahafo region, Bono East region, Northern region, Northeast region, Savannah region, Upper East region, and also the Western North region casted their votes for their regional executives. And yesterday, May 28, it was the turn of the Ashanti region, Eastern region, Greater Accra region, Upper West region, Volta region, and also the Oti region and the Western regions. And well, today, May 29, will be the Bono region, their turn to elect the executives. And for the Central region, it has been postponed due to a court injunction. We'll be speaking to our Bono regional correspondent in a bit. But before we do that, well, let's take a look at how the elections took place in the regions across the country, those who have already casted their votes. And we'll begin with the Eastern region. And therefore, the women organizers, Fatih Vondeli, had about 297 votes. And Mercy Ambodakwa polled 331, making her the women's organizer-elect for the Eastern region. And for the youth organizer, Erondako, or Donko rather, polled 201. Adamu Musa Raha had 230, and Isaac Ogoko Santiwuto had 198 there. So Adamu Musa Raha is the youth organizer-elect for the Eastern region. Now to the assistant secretary position, Felix Osafumafu polled 195 votes, and Anaya Papin had 228 votes. Robert Osei So Furiata polled 104, and so Nanaya Papin is the assistant secretary elect for the Eastern region. And for the secretary, Tony Osei won 398 votes there, beating Bakman Akufo, who polled 130 votes. So Tony Osei is the secretary elect for the Eastern region. Now let's move on to the Savannah region and find out how the elections took place there and those who have been elected into the various offices there. So for the chairmanship position, Alhaji Suleiman Idrisu is the chairman-elect, and first vice chairman is Dr. Abudu Amadou Musa. The second vice chairman, Johnson Kwame Jinde. Secretary Mohammed Isa, and Haji Safia Mohammed is the woman organizer. And Mayoyo Aminus is the assistant secretary there, and organizer is Kwame Abuaje, treasurer Abu Luti, and Raphael Mahama as youth organizer, and Nasara coordinator is Mohammed Mahe Bamba from the Savannah region. Now let's move on to the Ahafo region, and Owusu Secretary is the chairman there. Justice Entry, the first vice chairman. Osei Bonsu is the second vice chairman, and assistant secretary goes to Citizen Akoto, and Nana Edu won for the organizer, and Entry Eric won the secretary, and Ahmed won the Nasara coordinator. Adjoa Fosua won the women's organizer, and youth organizer went to Seth Odro, and Eugene Kusi as the treasurer for the Ahafo regional executives of the NPP. The results there are now to the Bono East region, and Ibrahim Baba Bukari is the chairman. Vice chairman is Amwa King David Kwao, and second vice chairman Baba Abdallah, and secretary David Buache. Assistant secretary went to Muhammad Seidu, organizer Suleimana Musa, and Sofia Free Danso is the women's organizer there, and Nasara coordinator went to Jibril Abubakar. Now to the Greater Accra region, and Grace Champon has retained her seat as women's organizer in the Greater Accra region. You see her there in your shot. Yeah, she has retained her seat. And Moses Abo, who had a lot of people, putting in votes for him, has won and retained his seat as the youth organizer in the Greater Accra region. And Prince Obeng has also retained his seat as the organizer for the Greater Accra Regional Executives for the NPP. Prince Obeng there retaining his seat. Now, still on the NPP elections, let's move to the Ashanti region, where Bernard Chibwesiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has retained his seat as the chairman for the NPP in the region. We'll take what he said after the votes. But first off, let's find out how the euphoria was as the votes were casted.
And when you realize even the delegates, as I told you, they came in to support the incumbent chairman, because as I told you in the morning, they know what the man has done. So there was no way anybody from anywhere can come and unseat the incumbent. That is why the people have spoken, and they have spoken positive in favor of the chairman.
At a point, your team looked very jittery. You looked very jittery. You looked like when the Fomina delegates, together with the Obuasi West delegate, and also the TESCON members were not allowed to vote.
Because it's part of our strategy that we calculate that Fomina and the others as part of ours. So when they were denied, definitely anybody going to election will not be happy. That is why we sound like we are so down. But we knew others have cast their vote in favor of the chairman. So that is what has come in now, and we are jubilating.
We thank God Almighty for bringing us this far. We started with prayers. We started with everything, confidence in the Lord that is going to carry us through. Today, New Patriotic Party have sent signal out there that in Ashanti region we are ready and prepared to forge ahead in unity and to move on to 2024 elections. Breaking the eight has earnestly commenced in the Ashanti region. I am proud of my party, New Patriotic Party. I am proud of my region, Ashanti region. We've shown a lot of comportment. We've shown a lot of dignity for ourselves and for our great party.
When I went to the campaign, I told them that anybody who will win for the chairman position, Chairman Wontumi, I'll help him for us to break the eight. And I know I'm a woman, and I use my womanhood for him. If it's too harsh, I'll use my womanhood for him to calm down, so that we go down and beg people so that they can vote for us. And we will call our colleagues, our contestants, those people we contest with. We come and put together, then we work together and break the eight.
Yako chairmanship so enipa num de ginaya. Ankibo Siako Bernard onya 464 votes. Kofi Adumba Uwa onya 3 votes. Odine Hukweku Apia onya 306 votes. Asaribedi Ako Robert onya 20 votes. Ena Kwabena Owusu Adiomi onya 9 votes. It is hereby declared Antwibo Siako Bernard as the elected Ashanti Regional Chairman for the NPP.
And that was my colleague Henry Kwesibedu at the Kumasi Sports Stadium bringing us details from there. And let's listen to Chairman Wontumi and what he said after he was declared the winner for the regional chairmanship position of the NPP.
Adia ye here for 2024 no aye unity. Mijna me name regional executives na mu ne ya shebo se obi a wugina ye bia no nya no krese olusu yi. Ebe de na part papa say oya campaign na duru ba bia onkasa emfantia. Ewo mu se nya sa na ye pe no na mum eduru baby a esen ne katre makro eduru baby a naka so obi ye boni a for 2024 breaking the age sake me regional executive say ye de ache obi a ye da ye campaign managers ne ye campaign wo mo support ye de nyina ye da wo nyina ase o ma ya de amanfo a mu bom paye de ma ya asofo ani nkamofo ye da o mase media fo mu ka bi ma ye no o man ka bi ama ye nyina ye da o mu nyina ase ye se bose media ye ni mu ba ye juma pa na chama untumi ni aye din edin ani aye nyina ne se Se David wakwa akwa na se mu ye dia onkasa oyekom no de ntokwa na ma onyankopon na onyankopon akontokwa na ma no enti se wo kan enwom etiraduonu no a o se wo hene diba enti abra na me ye regional chairman na me executive si ani wo mo so obabeka ho ne ye kwa akono na chere e wo so onyankopon ameye di maye na nye ye campaign bia ye na minim se 2024 no akwaye be fa so e de ba winiti ana amana basa Ashanti Region Security ye da munyina amase Electoral Commission ye da munyina amase National Executives ye da munyina amase titru yewura Jombodu yedana yeda President His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo yedana say yeda only the Vice President say eminent prominent Vice President of Republic of Ghana Dr. Mamutu Bawo Mia
I'll say a little bit longer on the NPP regional elections. Ben Efson, a pollster, has explained that the retirement of Bernard Antwi-Boasiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, is not so much of a good news for the NPP. According to him, the leadership of Chairman Wontumi has only resulted in the downward slide of the party's numbers in the Ashanti region. He spoke earlier on Metro News.
I think that for the observers like us, is not too much of a good news for the MPP.
Why?
Here is somebody on his first term, the MPP got 76% in Ashanti. In 2020, they went down to 71.6, nearly 5% down. Now, in years that the NDC have won elections, the MPP had gone to 70 or 69%, especially in Ashanti, and below 60 in Eastern. So I don't know what is going to make him change to stop the downward slide of the MPP in their home base. I mean, maybe, for the delegates, this could be cocoa season. They may have been influenced by perhaps money. But if you are looking at technically the downward slide and how close, 2020, Akufo-Addo won by the inarticulate expressions of Mahama on the free status.
Right.
Because many people did not get clear his view of progressive free status. People thought that when he came, he was going to cancel it. So from 76 to 71.6, what is the guarantee that is going to improve? Bear in mind that it's not going to be the candidate for 2016. It's going to be, the MPP is going to elect a new candidate. So it makes the MPP, there's nothing new that Wontumi will do that I think he didn't do in 2020. So
Earlier projected that Bernard Antwi-Boasiako was going to lose, and here we are, he's won. What could have happened?
Well, I think that, we did work there before the elections of the election of the polling station executives. We did work there before the constituency election. And clearly, they were displeased with his handling. The last straw being the offices he hired, he couldn't pay the rent and they were thrown out. But, these elections for the delegates, it's like cocoa season for them. So, but many of them, the delegates, those that we talked to, expressed the view that they think that they will give somebody else a chance.
Now, in the Upper East region, the regional chairman of the NPP there, SB Kangberi, has been retained with slight votes margin against his third-term contender, Alhaji Toyib Mahama. The chairman-elect polled 130 votes to beat Toyib Mahama, who polled 112 votes in the JEX and dead election in Owa. He has since been sworn in after a successful delegates conference in Tamale.
Look carefully, you saw that Toyiba came to embrace me. That's the first step of reconciliation if there is. So I don't think the party is divided. This is just a temporal emotional thing. It will fade. In a week or two, it will go away and we'll get back together to work. Before the 5 seats, we had 0. How did we get to the 0? We had 3 before and it came to 0. How did that happen? Was it Canberra? No. If somebody lost 3 cows and ended with 0, and somebody lost 2 cows out of 5, he still has 3 out of 5. That is 60%. I don't think there's any teacher here who says 60% is a failing math. It's a passing math. So I give myself an A for retaining 3 seats instead of going from 5 to 0.
You're still watching Newsbeat here on Metro Television. We're taking a break. When we come back, we do some more stories. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Newsbeat here on Metro TV. Now, a managing legal practitioner of GOB Law Consult and a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, Gloria Ofori-Buadu, in an interview on Inside Pages, says the youth of the NPP should not be taken for granted if the party seeks to break the eight.
What I think the party should consider is that the party won the last elections, that's the presidential, let's leave the parliamentary, but the presidential, by about 500,000 votes. So the party should think ahead, that if you want to win, you must be strategic. Every vote in your party counts. So now we have delegates, who are so dissatisfied. What's more, the TESCON, the youth form majority of our voters. So if we antagonize the youth, don't think you are antagonizing a few of them. They can influence the majority against the party. So the party won by a small margin, 500,000 votes. So the party needs to keep these votes if they want to win, unless they don't. But I am a party member, and I appreciate if we continue to, break the eight. But with all these non-strategic issues, it's heartbreaking. TESCON, the youth, we can't mess with them. If we calculate all the accredited institutions and even the non-accredited, the numbers are out there. We just won by 500,000 votes for the presidential. So we can't afford to antagonize anybody.
Now, the managing editor of the custodian newspaper, Audu Muhammad, says he agreed with Gloria Ofori-Buadu that the New Patriotic Party's organization is poor. He also believes the NPP should address their election committee structure, adding that if not, the right that they put in there as part of their committee structure would not help the party.
I totally agree with her on matters of organization and what the party needs to do going forward into 2024 election. Now, that is where that brings me to the issue of TESCON. As a group, you give them the opportunity to elect somebody to represent them at the Congress.
Yes, as a delegate.
As a delegate.
Yes.
You do not, as a party, decide who should represent them. If you want things to be done the right way, let the people choose a person they want to vote for them. That's how it should be done. I think MPP will have to look at the way they elect their members of the election committee.
Okay.
That's problematic. If you take Ashanti region, for instance, look, Simon Osei-Mensah is, everybody knows, he's a nice man. I know him personally when he was MP in Parliament. He is a nice person. But this man, he has an interest in this election. He has an interest. So such a person chairing a committee, regional committee, the stronghold of MPP, where it's a make or break election. If you hold election in Ashanti region, for MPP holds election in Ashanti region, it goes wrong for the whole party. What I'm saying is, this is a peculiar, look, let's face it, this regional minister owes some, how do you call it, allegiance, a lot to the current chairman, Wontumi.
Yes.
Look, he's probably there as a regional chairman because of Wontumi, Chairman Wontumi. So such a person chairing an election committee in the region will definitely create
owes a debt of gratitude.
Let's don't kid ourselves. These things happen in elections. We have, look, my brother was talking about a lot of issues. Look, these are peculiar issues in these two major political parties in Ghana, NDC and MPP. These manipulations and all these things do happen in these two parties.
Still on the NPP, Audu Muhammad, managing director of the Heritage newspaper, says he has actually called for a halt to the incessant monetization of elections since it dents the democratic ingredient of the exercise. He spoke on Inside Pages earlier.
In terms of monetization and look of our elections, I don't know how we are going to stop it in Ghanaian politics. The issue has become so serious that one time, even the minority chief whip, Honorable Montaka, had to raise it on the floor of Parliament about monetization of Ghanaian politics, especially among these two big political parties, MPP and DC. You are going for even polling station elections, and aspirants will have to pay so much to delegates to get elected. I think the way we are going, if you don't check it, we are going to be in serious trouble. And it's about time we will look at certain laws, how we regulate these things. If we don't, our electoral laws will have to be looked at for us to address some of these things. As for monetization of politics in Ghana, it's become so serious. You look at CDD, Afrobarometer reports, and all these are replete with some of these things. And it's something that we have to look at as a country because we are moving towards dangerous grounds.
However, Benjamin Asuman says it is a failure on the part of the New Patriotic Party to have a stated rule to the selection of representatives from the TESCON as delegates for the constituency elections.
The nature of the confusion and disagreement in terms of the delegates list is disappointing for me. Right. This is not a practice that is new. Look, brother, right from the period of National Union of Ghana students level, candidates are denied access to the delegate list, sometimes until the Congress grounds or on the day of election before candidates will even have access to delegate list. This is not right. Right. Unfortunately, such leaders from the NUCS level have risen to the national level, and they are now practicing the same NUCS level. It's serious. They are practicing the same, level of mafia that is done at the student level on the national level.
Mafia tactics.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be. We must move away from that, opaque system of avoiding for a candidate to see the delegates list. Why should the TESCON presidents from various campuses in the Ashanti region come together, hold a press conference, and say that our representatives found on the delegates list are not our representatives?
Right, are alien.
Who will best represent an organization than an organization chief executive officer or its president?
Right.
You see, it's so clear-cut. Even though the MPP constitution says that a representative from TESCON, it's foregone conclusion that that representative from TESCON must be the TESCON president, and in his absence, maybe the secretary or the women's commissioner. Right. Maybe that arrangement chronologically must be done by the MPP, in their constitution or in their rules of election, to say that. In selecting the TESCON representative, it must be the TESCON president. Right. In his absence, it must be the TESCON secretary. Right. In his absence, it should be the TESCON women organizer. Or it should be the TESCON organizer. That will settle this.
And Benjamin Asuman, who is the executive director of the Solidaire Ghana, has said that despite the disagreements and minor quarrels from the NPP regional elections, it mirrors the use of democracy in governance of the country. He spoke earlier on Inside Pages.
It's interesting also to note that, especially in the newly created regions, most of the incumbents were retained. And so it didn't give them cause to worry. Right. They have for some 3 years been in office, and the delegates thought that they should continue. It is good for Ghana's democracy to have the New Patriotic Party go through this process. This is a process of deepening Ghana's democratic credentials, that political parties must go and have their constituency and come to regional conferences to select leadership. Gone are the days where leadership in some political parties were appointed from the top, right, and and instructed down for the people to accept. This process gives the people the opportunity to interact with those who will be their leaders and make demands of them, and then they also make a certain level of promises or assurances to the delegates. Yeah. So it's a social contract that will have to be established, right, between the delegates and the would-be regional executives, and this is what democracy is all about.
Away from the NPP, the Ashanti Regional Police Command conducted an intelligence-led operation on the Accra-Kumasi Highway, leading to the arrest of 5 armed robbery suspects: Adams Awal, Ibrahim Hamidu alias Akwesi Anoche, Inusa Moro, Nasiru Salifu, and Kwejo Amponsa, who had robbed their victims, a gold dealer and some others, of some gold at gunpoint at Achim Edukrom. The police retrieved weapons and are currently pursuing 3 other robbers. Items retrieved from them included 1 assault rifle, 2 magazines loaded with 24 rounds of ammunition and 1 Python revolver pistol, 8 BB live cartridges, 9 gold nuggets, and an amount of 9,077 Ghana cedis. A Toyota Land Cruiser with number plate DV4142F was also being used by the robbers, and it has been impounded by the police. It's now time for some business news. And now in business, the business executives of Electroland Ghana have challenged unemployed youth to consider creating their own startups. It is the expectation that their newly opened branch, Homeland Ghana, will create a major opportunity for such young people to realize their business potentials.
Electroland Ghana is noted for the sale of a wide range of electrical appliances. The new Homeland Ghana branch of Electroland deals in home-needed essentials including kitchen utensils, children's toys, bags, cartoons, and games for retailers and end users. The purpose of this other branch is to create avenue for young people to build their own startups through very affordable means.
We deal in unique, quality, affordable home essentials in general, and then toys. These are unique pieces that you will not get from anywhere, and they come from the best of manufacturers. And aside the fact that we opened it to get profit, we are also looking at establishing a lot of young women. A business that has been running in Ghana for almost 16 years, which has about 90% of Ghanaians as workers. It is something that he looks at continuing. But then, in as much as we would want to give employment to people, we cannot give to everybody. And we have come to a time where everybody is crying of unemployment. And so, Homeland and Toysland is here to also empower both women and men.
The brand influencer of Electroland and Homeland Ghana, Delorians Frimpong Manso, known as Delay, while expressing hope that Electroland will become the first port of call for home essentials, and also encouraged young people to take advantage of it to start their own businesses.
We already have branches in town. There's a branch at East Legon, one in Tudu. We opened one earlier in the year in Tamale. And now we're inviting people to come here with as little as 500 Ghana or 1,000 Ghana. You can start up a business. We're encouraging people to open online shops and come here and be a part of this wonderful experience. Homeland Stores is your one-stop shop for kitchenware and cookware and kids products. So you're all welcome to Homeland Stores. And this company was brought into the country by Electroland, importers and distributors of NASCO and Samsung. So it's a tried and tested brand. You can count on us. We're here to serve you with quality products at affordable prices.
Now, the African Development Bank's annual meeting held here in Accra has come to an end. The 5-day event sought to find solutions to the climate change crisis, poor intra-African trade, the spiraling unemployment rate in Africa, among other challenges confronting the continent.
It's all over. The annual Africa Development Bank Group meeting held in the nation's capital, Accra, has come to a close. The race to get 600 million Africans connected to electricity to boost our industrialization agenda has begun. The race is on for 900 million Africans who lack access to clean cooking facilities has begun. Infrastructure within the African continent is also not the best. These were some of the things that were discussed here at the 5-day event at the Accra International Conference Center. Let's hear the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana.
The short-term economic consequences in the form of rising inflation, subdued growth, increasing inequality, and greater macro-fiscal instability is affecting cost of living on this continent. I have no doubt that the bank will rise up to the occasion and help our economies scale over these hard times. I commend the Board of Governors for their foresight in endorsing the broad framework for the bank's strategic outlook 2023 to 2032, that is for the next 10 years, to build a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development.
The African Development Fund is going to the markets to use its accumulated equity of $25 billion to be able to raise $35 billion will not add to Africa's debt. It is the opposite. It will in fact reduce Africa's debt exposures. We at the bank, we looked at the volume of Eurobonds issuances by ADF countries over a long period of time from 2011 to 2021. And we compared it to the cost of getting the same amount of resources from the African Development Fund. Over that period, the ADF countries issued $35 billion worth of Eurobonds, and of course 10 billion euros also.
We have collectively come to the table to proffer solutions to address the multiple challenges that confront us. Personally, I profited from the immense counsel of many regional and non-regional governors as we deliberated and reached a common ground based on collective trust.
The leaders that gathered here want to ensure that Africans can travel freely within the continent without any hassle. They also want to ensure that the continent trades among itself, which is at 16%. They want to at least make sure that it gets above 50%. How achievable are these objectives? Time will tell. Kenneth Jesse, Conference Center, Accra.
And that's all for business. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll do sports, entertainment, and international news. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break. Up next, we do sports news. And let's begin with week 31 of the Ghana Premier League. The fixtures set to take place today and tomorrow. You find that on your screen in a bit, and some interesting games coming up as the season draws to a close in the Ghana Premier League. Kumasi Asante Kotoko leading the league log. And so today the games came fine. So we'll stay in Kumasi and play Great Olympics. And Ashanti Gold will play Accra Lions, and Omina Sharks will travel to Brekum and play Brekum Chelsea. Legon Cities will be playing against BBNU Gold Stars, and Asante Kotoko, who are hoping to win the league title this season, will travel to Midiama and play them. Wafa will meet Bichim United in an interesting fixture this afternoon, and the Duana Stars would play against Dreams FC, and 11 Wonders will lock horns with RTU. And tomorrow, Accra Heart to Folk will lock horns with Karela United at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now let's do some Black Stars news, and the team is preparing for the game against Madagascar come June 1st, and several players have been invited into the camp as they begin their training at Cape Coast, and Captain Andre Dede Ayew. You also have Andy Yadom, who's earned a late call-up into the Black Stars team, and the team have held their first training session at the Cape Coast Stadium ahead of their 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches next week. And Coach Otuado had maintained almost a full house for Saturday's training, and their focus on the games against Madagascar and Central African Republic. Andrea Ayew and his brother Jordan Ayew are in the team. Mubarak Wakasus, whose inclusion has got a lot of thanks wagon, and also you have Benjamin Teta returning to the team. Kamaldeen Suleiman, Fatai Isahaku are all part of the team, and Ghana will play Madagascar at the Cape Coast Stadium on June 1st before traveling to Angola to face Central African Republic 4 days later. Now let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. And yesterday, Spanish giants Real Madrid defeated English side Liverpool by a lone goal to win this season's UEFA Champions League final, which was held in Paris. A second-half strike from Vinicius Jr. was all that Real Madrid needed to win their 14th Champions League title. And this will be Carlo Ancelotti, the head coach of Real Madrid, his 5th Champions League title after winning with the likes of Bayern Munich, and also he's won with AC Milan. And congratulations to Real Madrid. That's all for sports. Up next, we do entertainment. And in entertainment, the managing director of JA Plant Pool and SA Automobile, Adwoa Frimpong Nimako Boateng, has expressed her appreciation to all workers of JA Plant Pool for their hard work over the years. And speaking at a cooking competition for the employees, she said JA Plant Pool has chalked all of its successes due to their dedication, and as such encouraged them to be steadfast.
Hiring and rental, finance, administration and human relation, warehouse, technical and the marketing and customer care departments keenly contested for the bragging rights of this year's cooking competition. The competition is one of the many activities outlined to mark the Jospon Group Employee Month. Speaking to Metro News, the managing director of JA Plant Pool and SA Automobile, Adwoa Frimpong Nimako Boateng, expressed her appreciation to the workers and encouraged them to keep delivering on their duties. According to her, the Human Resource Department has prepared other interesting activities for the rest of the year.
We want to celebrate them. Without them, there will be no business. Even when the customers come and we have nobody to serve them, we wouldn't be in business. We appreciate them over the years. They've done tremendously well, and we know that we can still do more, so I encourage my colleagues that we should keep on doing what we do to better what we do and churn out good figures at the end of the day. We hope to have this become a yearly thing, so every May you will see us celebrating our staffs. But beyond that, the HR department, they've rolled out a lot of activities that we hope it will help to be able to bring up teamwork and still build the morale of the people. So we have a whole program lined up for the whole year.
At the end of the competition, the finance department was declared winners of the competition, with the marketing and customer care and also the warehouse department placing first and second runner-up respectively. Expressing their joy, winners of the competition described the competition as a creative way of appreciating employees and appealed to management to make it an annual event.
Generally, I would say it is a very good and a very creative way of celebrating our employees, and we would like to congratulate management and tell management that they should keep it up, and then every year as it started, it should continue like that.
JA Plant Pool is a subsidiary of the Jospon Group and a leading supplier of heavy-duty trucks, earth-moving equipment, luxurious buses, among other things. The competition was held at the premises of the company and was sponsored by UNGA.
Now, renowned media personality Kofi Otridako, popularly known as KOD, has called for a stop in comparisons made between young acts who are making waves right now, comparing them to musicians who have been around for a long time. Speaking to Metro News, KOD said such comparisons tend to bring unwarranted pressures on the young musicians, which later may destroy their careers.
I think it's not too right to compare different eras. It's like comparing Kwame Nkrumah to Nana Akufo-Addo or John Mahama. I mean, they ruled Ghana in different times. One would easily say that President Kufuor is the greatest president that ever ruled this country. Someone would say Kwame Nkrumah. It's up to one's opinion and what they see around them. I think we need to give the youngsters an opportunity to grow. I have so much reverence for the new guys who are making it. Now, interesting thing is they're living in a totally different era. An era where you probably don't need traditional media to make it big. Whereas in the days of maybe Nana Kwame Ampedu or Daddy Luma or Kojo Antwi, you'd have to get your music on traditional media, your GBCs and, well, much later, Radio Gold, Joy FM and what have you. But now, one could decide not to even have their music on traditional media, just have them on social media and they'll still blow and make it big out there. So let's give them an opportunity to grow. I mean, if someone has a few singles and you think they are bigger than someone who's done like 10 or 20 years in the industry, you have a problem. Yeah, because they have a lot of growing up to do, and we don't have to push them too much because very often people release maybe their debut album and then everything takes a nosedive. Let's guide them, let's push them gradually. They're going to go places, there's no doubt about that. But let's not push them too much. I mean, what happens is it gives a lot of pressure on the artist. I look at this guy, what's his name? Black Sherif. Black Sherif is under 25. If you're trying to compare him to someone like Sarkodie or Stonebwoy or Shatta Wale Chale, oh man, you're actually messing up his career and potential. Let's leave them to grow. Natural growth. No stress, no wahala.
And that's all for entertainment. Up next, we do international news. And U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has made an impassioned plea for a ban on assault weapons in the wake of two deadly mass shootings in the U.S. Ms. Harris was attending the funeral of Ruth Whitefield, 86, killed in a supermarket in Buffalo on 14th May 2022. That shooting came just 10 days before an attack on a Texas primary school, leaving 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Ms. Harris, listing these and other attacks, said it was time to say enough is enough to gun violence. She added that the solution was clear and included things like background checks and an assault weapons ban. And that's all for the bulletin this hour. Many thanks for watching. Before we go, let's take a look once again at our headlines. And we brought to you reactions from the Ashanti region, where the incumbent Ashanti regional chairman of the NPP, Bernard Enchibuesi, has retained his seat after beating 4 others in the just ended regional elections. And the Ashanti Regional Police Command has arrested some 5 suspected armed robbers in a highway operation. And in sports, Real Madrid beat Liverpool by a goal to 0 to win the 14th UEFA Champions League title. And on the foreign front, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has made an appeal for a ban on assault weapons in the wake of 2 deadly mass shootings in the U.S. Many thanks for watching. I am Desmond Okrekudas. We'll be back at 7 p.m. with Newsnight. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.